Check my background. Okay, perfect. So, what's going on, y'all? ELI'S.JYESTHA. We're up early with it. We will be talking about the cons characteristics. We're up early with it. Um, we will be talking about cons characteristics. We'll be talking about the con characteristics of the zodiac sign Cancer. Make my own goddamn introduction thing. But not seriously. We will be talking about the cons in Cancer. If you are Sun, Moon, rising sign, and if you have two or more planets in the sign of Cancer, this video is more specified specifically to your characteristics in you. Okay. Um, I did pros already, and today we will be doing the negative characteristics that natives are born that have the cons of Cancer, that have the bad characteristics. Now, next slide we'll be doing fifth house, okay? And fifth house is of course the number 5 zodiac sign, which is Leo, okay? We will be doing that next. I will probably be releasing a pro video tomorrow night or in the AM. I would say Tuesday morning. Just be on the lookout and make sure you guys, if you are already subscribed, make sure you guys turn on my post notifications on. Give me that share, give me that like, or give me that comment. And most importantly, if you don't do any of those others, of course, give me that view. Thank you. Okay. Now, what are the cons for the native? What are the lookout signs for these natives? These natives, the con characteristics, these individuals hold potent past emotional DNA. Okay. These individuals hold traumatic events longer than normal signs, especially if Saturn is abused and misplaced, and the moon itself. Um, these people or these natives could be very highly emotionally unstable. Okay. Um, if woman and male in any zodiac sign, 100% matters too. Okay. But like 9 times out of 10, the natives who have the pros and cons that are female and male signs, they will be the same difference, but each individual will have different aspects of showing the cons or the pros of being that sign. Right. So if you one of the cons, one of the bad negative traits of uh fourth house is um um distance distance between distance between maternal figures or maternal figure, but distance between mother or distance between mother and maternal figure side of the family. Okay. So yes, fourth house is a very feminine sign. Besides seventh, second, fourth house is in the top three of feminine signs. So with that being said, um, distance between less counterparts of feminine natures or feminine figures, male or female, could affect the sign. Distance between mother emotionally between one another, or distance between motherhood is possible, or this is distance between um parental parent parental figurehood is possible, whether that's emotionally or or that's literally. In prison, one of the negatives is also imprisonments of one's feelings or imprisonment of one's feelings, imprisonment of one's feelings um or emotional reputation. Okay, and I mean that in a negative way. All right. So imprisonment of one's feelings, not being changeable, not one of the negative cons is not having not being broad-minded or open for new opportunities. That is one of the cons of fourth house. Emotional unstable, foundational insecurity. So number one of the cons also is insecurities that is developed from childhood or earlier, or general family being. So fourth house is where your insecurities is. Okay. Our fourth house basically is basically where the start of your insecurities is. Okay. But for cons of like just in general, I know we're talking about cons, so I'm going back on topic, but just in general, these natives will have carry on general family um, foundational insecurities. Something that is started within uh, that started earlier on childhood or early on within the family. Skepticism. So these are fourth house, 11th house um, is skepticism. Okay, these are the natives who, again, who are majorly con, who normally will have a more so negative viewpoint or negative connotation and conductation of how the way they are, how the way this situation is, how um how just negative the intuition, negative force of skepticism of intuition is enforced with this with these natives. These natives could be very skeptic of things that doesn't hold familiarity, doesn't hold familiarity, even though the moon travels mostly every Zaya, stop watching me. Even though the moon travels in like every different sign, um, and every day it basically every day it basically get closer to another sign. This sign still has kind of like a all three in the sense of um points of angular, fixed, and mutable energies when it comes to the skepticism. It kind of doesn't wither because if they don't have anything that's familiar to their senses, or towards their homing nature, then they be they become a little bit more skeptical than usual. Emotionally inconsistent are never changing. Again, it could go many different ways, especially if if you're a native with all these placements. It definitely depends on what house the fourth house is in. Okay, these are the people who these are the natives who um can in a con way cannot keep up their word if they are not feeling up to par, if their intuition nudges anyway. These are the natives who will probably cancel, probably just go along with their security rather than risking anything personal or anything that is of their self security to risk if it's not safe. Right? Okay. So they could be again like overly cautious. Okay. Just like eighth house, fourth house, because of water, it can be overly passive aggressive. This sign could be mm, eighth house is different. This sign is different as well. Of um, what the hell was I about to say? That's me smoking. Um, oh, passive aggressive. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So eighth house and fourth house has similarities towards passive aggressiveness. This sign is kind of more on the forehand because of how fast the moon is. Okay, so their mood swings um sometimes can get to them way quicker than Mars can get to eighth house. Okay, in a sense of like impact. Now, yeah, and not that emotionally inconsistent. The emotionally inconsistent is like if it's not one of the cons of these natives, if it's not um if it's not something they feel as if it's in connection, then this sign could be very inconsistent of understanding. Let me close up this down. Whatever. Okay. Um, Immaturity. This sign could be 40 years old, but at 26. Okay. This sign could be very, again, um, stuck within the regular subconscious. Um, if not willing to take an opportunity into um, transcendence, just like 12 house. Um, if not just immaturity, just like um, if not just like behavior, it could be of look, okay? It could be of it could be of it could be because of subconscious reflection, okay? It could be because again, environment. Fourth house is environment, just like third house. Third house, third house is like your environment, like what you. It's so active you can't dodge. You go outside, you meet you meet your neighbor, um you meet somebody on the side of the street. You meet like that's third house. Fourth house is like the people again, like the people in your home, or the people you feel peace in inviting inside. Because this your subconscious. This full house is your subconscious because when you get inside your home, right, what do you become? Comfortable. What is comfortability? Comfortability is the ultimate thing humans want. We don't want money. We don't want peace. We don't want anything. The number one thing everybody wants in this world is comfortability. Okay. That's why fourth house is subconscious mind. Because relaxation and X of fear and X of anything else because of where you're at is peaceful. Okay. But we're not talking about peace right now. We're talking about immaturity. Okay. Again, this sign could be immature because of familiar familiarity figures or um this in generality. All right. Um irrational usage. So the opposite sign is, of course, 10th house. 10th house is I use, right? It's kind of like I'm calling it. I forgot what what book I read. But irrational usage is me basically saying that this house and these natives could get certain opportunities or get certain things and use it right in the wrong way. Okay. Why? Why? I said fourth house is all about fourth house and first house. It's all about personalization, right? Well, Eli, what do you mean? There's different formats of personalization, right? You got first house, right? Now, when you just look in the mirror, you check on yourself quickly of what your conscious knows you gotta get right. But not just your conscious, your subconscious. Because it's just like, oh, some people be like, I get a feeling, oh, what's the sun's in my hair, right? That could be first house because it's implying to you. You this is your body. You know what's wrong with your body. Nobody else is in your body. That's why first house is first house. The fourth house is fourth house because nobody knows what's in your subconscious either. You know what I'm saying? Now, what was I talking about? So these natives could have a prone bone to basically um, use certain potencies irrationally, I guess. This I would say irrational usage. Just more so like I said, like opportunities that are used for moments of importance and not having this as a pro of rational usage of opportunities, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, let's go to the next one. Clutter of missed opportunities, whether home or career. So again, this sign could have a progression of two of just um, very independent, basically, of one because of satisfaction with comfortability and defensiveness. Okay, of just basically, um, yeah, pretty much defensiveness. Just very cautious. Okay. Um, Also too because of because of things that is not dealing with one's comfortability. This sign could have an issue with, of course, um, missed opportunities with career. Okay, okay. Overly sensitive. Okay, this sign is top three sensitive signs in the zodiac sign. So this sign could be very sensitive, very sensitive. They can have a shell again. Fourth house, eighth house have shells. They have they have a shell. It looks and not saying these animals and things and as I'm referring to is not deadly, but I'm saying they have shells because something within them is soft, okay? It's and not just soft. I would say I kind of want to say sensitive, okay? That makes them very defensive because of because of um their 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 feelings, or not just their feelings, but more so their subconscious paramount. Okay, things that brings naturally happiness every day. Okay, overly cautious. Again, either this is one of the signs where nothing could go wrong, but it's just a feeling, and that's a that's a negative connotation because this is the type of sign that could be serial, serial, uh, that could be very serial. I would say uh, complicated within 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 what's that word called? Their expressions. There we go. Overly cautious, especially again, it could be because of the sensitivity and the sensibility of not knowing of the familiarity. Okay, the more you're familiar of them, the more they see you in the past or seeing you somewhere, the more comfortability they will have. Okay, they are very settled. Oh. Mm. Mm. This sign can be very standoffish in an eerie way. Um, again, if stranger are not knowing, they are uh, top three defensive signs of just being um, very to themselves. Okay, antisocial. Okay, so these are the signs um, who this is one of the signs who boggles off into um, their own part of the world or their own part of the sea, since it's a water sign. Misaccounted and misunderstandings. So this sign could be very misunderstood in a way of subconscious matter. Again, nobody knows how you deeply feel. Okay, nobody knows how you deeply feel. Nobody knows what you think. And nobody knows everything you know. Those are the three things. Overly passive. Again, overly passive aggressive victim. These are this is the one of the signs or top sign of um throwing a rock and throwing a rock in high hands. Okay. Um this is one of the signs. Uh, and I'm talking about this is one of the natives. These are the cons of the natives. Who again of the fourth house who will throw a rock, hide their hand, or I would say I would say not just do that, but um, could sometimes be overly victimized for themselves or like just yeah, victimization. Okay, misunderstandings of past events or feelings, dealing with one's subconscious again. So these people can have a lot of scattered patterns or moments in the subconscious of past events or feelings that haven't been cleared up or haven't got that much context or um, haven't received a resolution scattered inside the subconscious. Okay. Clutter or misplacement of native past happiness or dwellings. Yep. Immediate family instability. Um, One of the causes of the sign is the family has instability. This could play a huge con for this sign. This could affect one's health, one's family's health, and also it could affect um, one's one's homely health and car health. Okay, uh, inadaptability again. Since the fourth house, in my honest observation, it goes in the sign every 2 days. So again, it is more crazier than Uranus. Okay, more crazier than 11th house. Okay, it's very quick. Besides Mercury, okay, and the Sun. But other than that, um, one of the cons is if this sign isn't adaptable to their lifestyle, their well-being, or their current state of happiness. Okay, if they cannot, if they this is a negative connotation of a native who is unadaptable, or he or she. Okay, with one's pattern behavior, insincerity. Okay, this sign could be very insincere. Okay, only loyal to one's subconscious. Again, suppression of everyday subconscious expression. So again, this is a sign. It's very awkward because they have flutters just like air signs and Mercury and whatnot. Meaning um, they have uh, they have a double, like a triple double mind, if that makes sense. Like for instance, I would say I have one subconscious. Okay, these signs and some natives have more than. Okay, they might have three in that fucking soul. Who knows? But yeah, insincerity. So one can this sign the these natives with the cons of this sign can only be loyal to one's motives, not more, not less. Um, Agreeing, not really being on the side of where you should be, um, could cause for insincerity. Suppression of everyday subconscious expression. Okay. Misperception and misperception because fourth house has keys to all the angular houses as far as like pure look, like from a clockwise way, it has again pure look. If this sign where moon is not perceived right, moon will be highly aggravated, especially if the fourth house is not within the fourth and moon is not in the same house as the fourth. It's gonna be triggered, very calm. Okay, and that's what I said. Misperception is a huge no. That means moon isn't strong. Moon isn't getting that that energy, that read, that good reflection of energy from the sun for the natives. So the moon is gonna be harder to perceive and reflect off of to kind of get answers for this song. Okay. But if you're in a good sign, in a good house, no matter what, moon is gonna be good. Okay. Entitlement. Okay. See, fourth house is about entitlement because when something is yours, right, you get security over it. Literally, and sometimes non-literally, but you think you know you do. Okay, that's why I put entitlement because everybody in this world got something they're entitled to, even if it's not something that they should be, right? That's one because it kind of gives that flare of deepness, but also the flare of just positivity within one's point of view. Okay, okay. Entitlement meaning in a negative way could be that one could feel like this is owed towards their happiness and not look at their karma. Or okay, fourth house, all the water signs have a lot of karma to take care of, and if they don't, they'll just keep getting deeper, 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 deeper. Okay, so entitlement is kind of like your happiness. When you feel entitled to do something or have something or this and that, you are claiming that to be something that is one of your security, one of your something that is yours. Okay, something that is yours. All right, guys, I'll make a part two with pros and cons. I'm pretty tired. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a good video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Um, love you guys. Peace. And here we come, Leo.